Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport, and a video that is not necessarily motorsport related, more about the channel in general, and with bad news because unfortunately come the end of April, me and my family will be homeless, essentially. Our lease is up on this privately rented flat. We are not really in a position to get anywhere else despite the fact we've paid rent for the last 3 years, always on time, always in full. We don't actually earn enough money to even be considered to look at flats or houses or anything. There is nothing within our price range at all. It kind of sucks, and we've got in all the help we can get. We got going through all the usual channels that are open to us. It's hard going. It's not fun. I've got 3 kids, a girlfriend, and never really wanted them to deal with any of this. But that's just the way it is, unfortunately. It's a difficult time to be private renting, especially if you are a lower income family. I'm sure a lot of people are going through this at the moment. But what it means for this channel specifically, it's not the most important thing in the world, really. But it means that once the end of April rolls around, this channel might go on a little hiatus, at least somewhat. What might happen is I'm going to try and make arrangements to make videos here and there, but it's not going to be possible to do it on the scale I'm doing it. I'm doing like 3 or 4 videos a week, at least at the moment. I think that's going to stop for a while. Essentially, the situation is we're going to be put into, unless something comes up, we're going to be put into a halfway house, possibly like a B&B, or it'll be like a 1-bedroom place for as long as it's necessary to find somewhere else more permanent. And obviously, I won't be able to record in one room with my girlfriend and 3 kids around. So I could still write scripts. I'm sure I'll have my phone with me, so I'll be able to like research things, watch things, still record some things. But in terms of actually making and editing videos, I'm going to have to find workarounds. I can go to my brother's. He's about an hour away, which is also a pain because I don't have a car. I actually had to get rid of the car because we couldn't afford it anymore. I can make arrangements to get over there every now and again. So maybe when Formula One's on a Sunday, I could do a review of it from there. It's just, it won't be as many videos, basically. It's going to have to slow down whilst we sort our lives out where we're going to live. But that actually really sucks because for me, I've been in this channel for 5 years, and the reason I started it was as a stress reliever. I find it relieves a lot of stress to make videos, edit them, upload them, and it's a very stressful time. And the one thing I have is going to be made really difficult and kind of stressful in itself. But we'll see what happens. I'm trying to find other things I can do. I'm going to try and make maybe some shorter videos to do in the meantime, or maybe ask someone else to make videos for this channel to fill in some gaps. Until it happens, I won't really know. As I said, we've got a month to, or over a month and a bit to find something. So it's not a definite yet. But the situation looks like end of April, the channel is going to be doing less uploading. As to what else is going on with the channel, I've constantly said before I want to do more live streams. I wanted to do more movie reviews. There's a few other things I've wanted to do. Most of it's an issue of technology. I don't have the best video editor. It's quite an old one. It works for what I'm doing. Most videos I do, it's fine. For anything more complicated, it would make it tricky. But I could probably work around it. But it's still an issue of technology. I could do things, but they're very time consuming. Like a movie review, I've done a couple. Grand Prix movie from 1966 and Driven. they were very time-consuming videos, and at that time I wasn't living with my girlfriend, so I had more spare time to be working on videos. That's what I did. I don't drink. I don't really go out that much at all. I worked on videos, and I still do. Uh, Live streams, again, it's a lack of knowledge more than anything. I don't really know how to do a live stream, so maybe if I can find someone to help me learn, then maybe it's something I'll do in the future. If that's something you wanted, if you have any ideas of stuff you'd want to be live streamed, let me know. If you have any ideas, we'll see what we can do. Members only content, again, if you have any ideas of something better than what I'm doing, because at the moment I'm doing like classic livery reviews every month, which if you want to be a member, they're there. It's nothing special. It's probably not worth it, but I actually have no idea what to do for members only content or anything like that, because I've never ever thought about it. So I'm doing something because I can. It's, if you have a better idea, I'd appreciate it. Another one of the big issues I face in this room especially is lighting. As you see, there's like 3 lights. There's actually 4 lights. I've got a lamp next to me, and then there's 3 lights across the room, which this one has never worked. Don't know what's wrong with it, but it just does not work. The middle one is too bright. If I turn that on, it'll just, you can't see anything on here. It's just a bright light behind me. The further one away, it glares. It's really annoying how much it glares, but it's the only way to get a halfway decent amount of light in this room. During the day, if I'm recording, I have to close all the curtains and have the lamp on. Otherwise, it's too bright or too dark. I can never get it about right. And again, this camera, I've tried fiddling with all the settings, trying to get it as perfect as possible. This is as good as it gets. And honestly, the lighting is weird. The contrast is weird. I'm not the same colour I am in real life. My beard is very red. I don't really know what to do about that. It's just an issue with the room. If I could afford like some decent lighting system or something around me, I would. So that's maybe something to think about in the future. The other thing is I wanted to do some filming outside. I've got several ideas for filming videos outside. Issue is I don't have a camera. I could use my phone, but it's going to look like crap, and I don't really want to do that. I also don't have a microphone for outside recording. So again, I have ideas. It's just a case of technology, money, time, knowledge, which I think is probably the biggest deficit, really. But if one day I can work all that stuff out, I do have ideas for different content. Some of it longer, some of it shorter, some of it better quality, some of it probably lower quality, if you can believe that. If you want to know a little bit about me and maybe why we're in this situation. So when I started this channel in 2019, I worked for the ambulance service as a non-emergency driver, which I loved. I loved doing it. It was mostly taking people to appointments or taking them home from hospital, but I enjoyed talking to people, and it could be really difficult. And even though it was non-emergency, I still saw some really bad situations and the way some people have to live, and all their health conditions have caused them to be in a way that their life isn't going well for them. And I did that for a few years. I started before COVID. I started in 2018. COVID kind of sucked, if you didn't notice. Amazingly, I caught COVID, or I tested positive for it like once, maybe twice, I can't remember. Once, definitely. I didn't really have any major symptoms, but I was around COVID, people suffering with COVID all the time, so I'm amazed that I only got it once. But it was a pain, because when COVID was first hitting the UK, my girlfriend was pregnant with our first child. And when lockdown happened, she wasn't living with me. We were planning to move in together later in the year. Because of COVID, it didn't happen straight away, and we had to wait. It meant my pregnant girlfriend was away from me, because I was doing a job where we're moving COVID patients around. It didn't seem like a good idea to be around my heavily pregnant girlfriend. So I had several months where I wasn't really seeing her. I'd drive round to her house and stand in the driveway and talk to her. It was pretty lame. And I missed the birth of my first child because I wasn't allowed in the hospital. I missed the birth of my second child as well because my girlfriend gave birth to her too quick and I didn't get to the hospital in time. That's a different story. The other problem is I've suffered with depression and anxiety pretty much all my life, definitely teenage years onwards. It was really hard to get any kind of, I'd say, good quality help until I moved house to a different area, different doctors, different mental health teams locally. I got a lot more help. It really, the last 3 years, it's the first time in my life I've had actually decent mental health support, which is amazing. But obviously it's a very underfunded, very stretched thin system. It's difficult, but it has been better the last few years. It's still been tough, and obviously having depression and anxiety and dealing with a housing issue, not really good for my mental health. I've been very, very stressed lately. And I'm thankful I have this outlet to make content, relax. It's great. I record a video, edit it. I tend to watch YouTube videos while I'm doing it. You know, I can write stuff with my kids around. They're not that interested. They're still too young to really care. And it's honestly, it's the best outlet for stress I've ever had this last 5 years. And hopefully I'm going to try really hard to keep it going through the difficult months if they occur. And then one day everything will be sorted. Everything will be fine. And I'm going to come back and just try and take videos to the next level. I'm going to try and improve my editing. I'm going to try and record better. I'm going to try and do a few new things, which will hopefully be entertaining and be very much worth watching, unlike this, which is just sort of rambling on about the future of this channel. It's a thing that's happening, and we'll deal with it, and eventually everything will be fine. For now, nothing's going to change in the immediacy. At some point in April, I'll probably have to pack everything up, and therefore these videos, as they are coming out now, will have to stop. But I'm sure something will happen. That's the only thing I'm sure about at the moment, that something will happen. I just don't know what that something will be. And that's the frustrating thing. For the next month at least, we've got plenty of motorsport to watch and videos to make. Formula 1 next weekend, I'm looking forward to it. Massive changes to the grids. Next week there's going to be Formula 1 videos, and afterwards there's going to be Formula 1 videos and videos on other racing series as well. I think World Rally Championship before April as well. We've got the Safari Rally, which is a pretty big one. I'm going to have to make sure I'm around somewhere to do the Indy 500, possibly Le Mans 24 Hours as well. That's going to be a nightmare. Trying to find someone to watch the entire Le Mans 24 Hours. I'll figure it out. Anyway, it's all positive. We're going to work it all out and everything's going to be fine. And this channel is going to continue to grow, and that is thanks to everyone who has watched videos, subscribed. I'm not asking for money. I'm not setting up a Patreon or GoFundMe. If you want to be a member, it's there. You can watch the videos that are done. It's not really worth it. I wouldn't bother. If you really want to help with the channel, tell people about it. If you're in a place where you can tell other motorsport fans about this channel and they might like it, do that. Go on whatever website you use and just mention it, even if you've got nothing to do with motorsport. Tell your boss, tell your friends. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you check out all the Formula 1 content that will be coming out next week. It is a sort of very heavily Formula 1 themed week next week. I am going to try and do a video every day next week. I have plans to. Whether that actually happens, again, time restraints. But it might. Subscribe, keep watching. I'll see you soon. Have a good one.